Come on. Okay, there she goes. She never talks. She's like waits and then like, it's recording. Anyway,
Hey,
so
baby.
hey, baby. This is Dre Tattoo Squid podcast here with Jim with Film Rage. Feel the rage. How's it going,
Nice.
Jim?
It is outstanding. I'm talking to you, so nothing else could be better, buddy.
Oh, jeez. All right, my heart's beating like this now. Okay.
Nice.
It's right underneath Jason right now. If people don't know, if you can't see it, you'll see it on YouTube. But audio-wise, there is a Jason Voorhees, like very mural thing.
You've got a hockey mask protecting your heart. I love it.
Yes. One bay like that. It's like a little dark underneath, but anyway, it's still beating. And you get the lovely view in the background, and I'm like, I like we talked about before. I'm going to try to do that for my next one. So
nice.
We'll do that.
Do you have like an anime, or do you have like a? I mean, there's your logo, which is super cool, by the way.
Yeah,
I love your.
I had my
logo. It's
friend's
awesome.
son actually made like one of them. I have another one. I didn't really put it out there yet because I wanted to do it for my merch. So once I do the merch one, then I'll put it out there because it's going to be the newer one is going to be called Squid Squad. So
Squad.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your fascination with squids? Because I'm a huge fan of squids.
Well,
I just think
it's not really a squid that I have a fascination because I got an octopus like right there.
Okay, yeah.
But octopus are just very somewhat friendly a little bit, but squids are more aggressive.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking with, at times I am aggressive at certain points. But I do tend to talk with my hands. So there's like, I'm not saying I'm Italian or anything. I'm just saying that we call it just talk with my hands at times, just like, like that. And it's like, I'm trying to tell you. No. But, so I figured that way. And plus, I got my license plate that says Tattoo Squid. So,
It's cool, man. It's you. Like nobody in the podcast world. Like it's an identifier, right?
Yeah.
Like there's so many podcasts and there's so many people out there that are just part of the mainstream swimming along. See how I did that? Yeah. Swimming along in the podcast world that it's just the same. Yeah. But when you have somebody with the name Squid, it's like, I'm like, what's that? I want some of that.
Yeah. But there is a guy, and I actually interviewed this guy too. He has the Twitter name Squid Talks. And then there's like another one that says my opinion only, kind of. I think that's the name of the podcast, but his Twitter handle is Squid Talks. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. I was like, my cousin's on here. I was like, son, I'm gonna have to get him on the show. And I did. And he's basically, his thing was like, his opinion. And he'll talk anything about whatever. And I heard a couple of episodes on his, and I was like, it was good. I mean, I like it. It's different, in your face kind of thing, but he's working along on it.
Nice.
And then I see people having like 4,000 followers. I'm like, somebody give me 5,000. And people are watching this or hearing this, 5,000. Make it happen.
Start following. Damn it.
Yeah, start buying merch. Start doing something with your money.
Yeah.
Supporting pay your bills and pay the squid. No. And Film Rage. Get your Film Rage. Feel the rage.
That's right.
So what movies? I know you do like a whole bunch of movies, and I heard this on your podcast, and I heard this like between you and I guess you got 3 other people in there.
Yeah, there's 3 of us in total. Well, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we have 3 plus we have a mascot, Mr. Potato, who's if I move, wait, I got to move this way.
So Mr. Potato is the guy with the different kind of beard up in the corner, or
no, the guy that's the rage at the front. So he's actually if you see those pop guys,
the Funko Pops.
Yeah, Funzo Pops. So the Funzo Pop is it's a transforming Hulk. and it's kind of half Mark Ruffalo and
Yeah.
half the Hulk because he's transforming.
Yeah.
So he's actually about to rage. So it became our mascot, and we have this shtick on our podcast where, you know, like nobody's safe on our podcast. If we and because there's three of us,
yeah,
you know, there's three different opinions happening all the time.
Yeah.
But we have a collective agreement, like we actually have. If you go onto our webpage,
yeah,
we have a bunch of lists. So we have what we consider undoubted. So a director or an actor can be undoubted, but they have to live by a set of rules, and they have to have such a level of approval from so many movies. So it's not very easy to get people onto our undoubted list, because it has to be a case of, like, we have a three rating system: Mondo, which means it's the best thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, I heard that many times on there. Yes.
Yep. We have meh, which is just like, it's okay. You could take it or leave it. It's good. You know, you could still like a meh movie, but it's not fantastic. It's just, you know, it's good. And then there's rage. So if an actor or a director can make basically all Mondos, like, we as a collective group, we all love the film, which is really hard because Bryce and I would consider maybe a little bit more art snob film fans, and Murray is the everyday guy on the street. So it's hard to find films that all three of us will agree on. So when someone makes our list, it's a big event, and I think they should be happy that they're on our list. So
yeah, I know. I'm just writing this down for the description box. So like for the more descriptive of so we got Mondo, and then rage,
and meh.
Yeah. And that's not a belly goat. It's just
that's what goats say, isn't it? Meh.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes they just gonna ram you. Yeah.
Yeah, you do not want to get one of those in your nutsack. I can tell you that.
I went to Ireland, and I almost got, you know, Beelzebub by one. You know, it's not really not a good thing, especially when you're trying to feed and you're like, oh, meh, boom, you know.
Yeah, when you're saying horny, that's not what you mean.
No, definitely not. You know, especially in the sexual nature, you're like, no, not that kind of sheep. No. do not. So let me go and tell you this. We call it these drinks that I was telling you. Now, people, there is drinks that are gross, and there's drinks that are really good. I like me. What is your typical drink? Actually, let's go with that.
So I mean, I will drink anything as long as it's good. I'm a top tier drinker, so I don't drink swill. If I'm gonna drink, I want to make sure it's good stuff. So
yeah,
so I've got a bunch. I've got wine. Yeah, top shelf always. I like wine. You know, my go-to, if I'm just gonna have, like, sit on an afternoon, I'll usually get like a tequila, but not like a Blanco tequila. I go with the extra anejos or Scotch. I'm a bit of a Scotch fan. Bourbon. There's some amazing bourbons that I get whenever I go to the States. I pick up a huge supply of bourbon that I like. But, you know, there's the only one I would say I don't really drink too much of is vodka, because it doesn't have any real flavor. It's just booze to get you drunk. So whatever you're adding it to, right,
exactly,
it gets you there, right?
Yeah, because does everybody, all the other guys, they drink, obviously, right?
Bryce doesn't drink at all. Nope.
Oh,
Bryce doesn't drink, and Bryce is actually a vegan, so he doesn't eat meat at all.
Okay.
Murray will drink everything and eat everything you put in front of him. So
it sounds like me. I'll eat, but then drink wise, I mean, I used to do that, but that was like more doctor related stuff. But
yeah, good for you, man.
Yeah, so it helps out. It's like it's been like 3 or 4 years now, so I'm like, all right, good.
Good for you.
Don't have the urge, but I love watching. I'm not saying I love watching people drink, but I love watching where people try some drinks and then they're like, So these are I figure I wanted you guys to try these out if you want. You know,
Okay.
I don't know if you
Hit
want to
me.
go to pen and paper, but
I've got it. I can type it in right here.
Oh, okay. So right here we got the hot Mexican hooker.
I already like the sound of this.
Okay, well, here we go. We got the hot sauce. That's ½ ounce of a hot sauce.
Okay.
1 ounce of tequila.
I'm already loving this.
All right, and 1 splash of tuna juice.
What? You know what? It might not be bad. And how much of the tuna juice?
It just said 1 splash. So
okay,
like
splash.
a splash of it, I guess.
You know, it's kind of one of those things that makes you think, where in the hell are you gonna buy fucking tuna juice?
Well, no, I think what they do is they grab the tuna can and they just pour it, you know.
I want to go to the grocery store though. Maybe they've got it.
Well, they probably do. It's right next to the lime juice and the lemon juice and.
Well, we have a drink in Canada. So I'm from Canada. We're from Canada. And there's a drink up here that is called the Caesar. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I have not.
Okay, so every single person in Canada knows about the Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
But not all Americans know about the Caesar. If you live like in the northern parts of the US, you might know about it. But so what it is, it's actually vodka, or you can mix tequila. You could use white rum or whatever. And it goes in at what's called a clamato juice. So it's like a spiced tomato juice with clam juice in it.
Okay.
So what you're selling here with the splash of tuna juice, it may not be too bad, because I mean I'm used to drinking Caesars up here, so it might not be too bad. I'm actually not afraid of this drink. So
well, I haven't gotten to the creme of these. There's like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 maybe, you know, these, but they're like really small ones. But there's one called the cement mixer.
Okay, let's have it.
All right, so it's Bailey's liqueur.
Yep.
You know, like 1 shot of that, and then 1 shot of key lime juice.
Oh, that's gonna curdle.
Exactly. That's what the whole thing is about. So basically, you take the Bailey's cream, you put it in your mouth. Don't drink it. You take the key lime juice, you put it in, and then see what the discovery happens.
It's gonna be curdled in your mouth, and you're gonna be like, it's like you've just drank a big glass of jizz, is what I think it's gonna be like. Okay. But it'll be tasty jizz.
Yeah, you never know, you know. So that's that one. So that's a 1 shot. Here's the smoker's cough. Now this one has like my favorite kind of drink. This is my kind of drink when I used to go to, and I'm really upset that I can't have it anymore. But there 1.5 ounce of Jägermeister.
Okay, I don't mind my Jägermeister. Yeah, 1.5 ounce. Okay, that's heavy duty Jäger. Okay.
Oh, and then you got 1 tablespoon of mayo.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. What?
That's it. It's like you.
So I'm sorry. This was your go-to? This drink, or just the Jäger was your go-to?
The Jägermeister is my go-to. That was it. Not the mayo. I can't fucking do mayo. You know. So.
So do we? Okay. Can I mix it?
No.
Or I mean, do I have?
It's like in there. It's what you get the Jägermeister glass 1.5 ounce. And then you put the mayo in there, and it's like a lump that's in there. But you gotta try it. You down it, and they say when you down it, you don't really taste the mayo at a certain point. But it's just doing the whole 1.5 ounce of like Jaeger.
Of Jaeger, yeah. You know what? I'm having German food for supper tonight, so I'm gonna have that as a starter.
Yeah, try it out. I was like, listen, may I have some mayo and the Jägermeister, please. You know, and then they're like looking at you like, what the fuck? You know.
What? You're like, huh? Where am I? France?
Okay. Oui. Yeah. Anyway, so you know the Sailor Moon cartoon? Obviously.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Well, apparently there is a cousin, and it's called Amber Moon.
Amber, yes, that's right.
So that is 1 raw egg, 3 ounces of bourbon.
I'm already liking the way this sounds.
Yeah. And 1/2 ounce of Tabasco sauce. That's
going to be hot stuff, baby.
Now, I heard, I mean, when I written this down. I mean, well, actually, no. There's one. Well, actually, yeah, that's the one. But this one, because I had a shot in the bar, we call it, and there was a thing, and story be told that I like to drink when I was at the bar. Obviously, I take any kind of shot anybody had. If they didn't want it, I'd be drinking it. So I was like the disposal unit. I'm like, okay, no problem.
What, you said free?
No, well,
you said free. I'll take that.
Free, they pay for theirs, and I took theirs, and I'm like, okay, you don't want any more, that's fine. And then so then I would go and we call it. Then they had this thing where like the bartender shop book. So they have 1 to 40, and you go and have like 5 to 8 people or whatever, and then you put like $5 or $8 or whatever how much shots are now, and then you just pick they get the stir straws, and they like pick the shortest straw kind of thing. So if you pick the shortest straw, then you have to pick 1 to 40 in the shot book. So it could be the least to the nasty.
Yep.
So my friend got one, and he had one that looked like freaking suntan lotion. That's what it was, so like dark and very filmy. And he was like, oh, that was good. Then all of a sudden I got it, and I'm like, you know what, fuck that. I'm going to like the hard shit. Let's go down to the bottom. Give me 40. So then maybe
the bottom. Way to go. Straight to the top.
Yeah, figuring, hey, I'm the squid, gotta go down to the bottom. So and then so then they making this, the bartender's making it, and then he's like, ooh, and he smells it. Then he's passing it. Everybody that is
to smell
it. And my friend that I've known for like 15 years comes up to me. He goes, you better hold your nose when you drink this. And I'm like, what, really? And all of a sudden I'm like, okay. And then I drank it. I swear to God. And I used to be a smoker too. So I drank it. I couldn't inhale my cigarette at all because my tongue was numb. My lips were numb. I downed like 5 beers. And then another 5 beers after that. I couldn't get the taste. I couldn't even smoke a cigarette. It was like so bad. So in that drink was 151 tequila and Tabasco sauce.
Oh, so it's just tequila and Tabasco?
And 151. Well, yeah.
What's 151? I don't know.
I think it's like a whiskey.
So
like
it's still a booze. It's still a booze.
Yeah, it's still a booze. But I don't know exactly, because I just known it as 151. So that's like a bottle. I don't know if you're gonna be able to search.
I'm looking it up right now. It's one of the strongest liquors.
Yeah,
is 151.
That's so that's
because can you still buy it? Bacardi 151 is a discontinued brand of a highly alcoholic rum made by Bacardi. There you go.
No, that was my thing too. I love rum.
So it's rum, tequila, and Tabasco.
Yeah.
So what was it that killed the taste buds? Was it Tabasco, or was it just the rum?
I think it was Tabasco and the tequila mix, because they both a little bit, because I think it was like the 1800 tequila. It was like the low mix of the tequila.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it was, because I know I tried Patron, and Patron is more.
Yeah, it's much smoother.
Yeah, much smoother and everything else. This one was more darker.
Yeah, it's like the shit pile of tequila. It's like made it in someone's boot, as opposed to
it's like you went into the town and you're like, listen, just give me anything that's on the shelf, and that's all there was on the shelf was the 1800. It's like, okay, I'll just take that instead. Leave it off. And then so that was like, that part I just mentioned. Amber Moon, 1 raw egg, 3 ounces of bourbon, Tabasco sauce. So now this ain't the cream of the crop, but let's have cream. Let's go. Okay.
Alligator sperm. Okay, I'm down.
So there is I believe 1 teaspoon of cream, because I got mixed up with the T and the capital T, so it went by
small T or big T? Was it?
I believe it's a small T.
Okay, so teaspoon. Yeah.
A half ounce of pineapple juice.
Okay, I like where this is going.
And then half an ounce of Midori melon liqueur.
Okay.
So that is the brands that are, that is doable. So if you guys like try that out, Now, this is the last one. This is the creme of the creme. And I don't think that you will want to go and have this anyway after I explain it. It's called the Kim Jong-un nuclear bomb. So let's just go into the alcohol part of it, which was a lot of a lot of vodka.
Okay, so how much vodka?
A lot of vodka. It says that's it.
Okay,
so it was in a mixer and all that. And then you have your one Big Mac.
One Big Mac.
McDonald's fries.
What? Okay. Oh my God. Okay. One Big Mac. Is it a large fries or what size of fries?
I guess it's fries, whatever. Nonetheless,
I'll go small fries. Yep.
The McDonald's milkshake.
McDonald's milkshake.
Barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce. Okay.
And the McDonald's apple pie.
And okay. Doesn't sound terrible.
And then you put that in a mixer. And then you
a blender,
the blender, you mix it up, and that should be it. And then
I think you could just keep adding vodka to it till they can actually properly blend.
Yeah, it's more like a liquid base to be able to go and blend it. Yeah,
you've basically just having your McDonald's meal with some vodka.
Yeah, it's like it's like a workout drink, but you're still
anti-workout. It's like an anti-workout.
Well, basically, I mean, if you're cheating and you're working out at the same time. So basically,
is it because once you drink this, you're going to be doing lots of contractions as your ass is going to basically explode, or perhaps it'll come out your mouth and you'll be dry heaving? Is that what you mean? You're going to get lots of core.
Because you get people that do the protein shakes and everything else. So this is it's a protein shake. Somewhat,
Okay, wait. I'm just looking at the ingredients. So vodka doesn't have protein. The Big Mac has a couple of meat patties. Okay, I'll give you that. The French fries is dipped in meat juice. So it might have some. The milkshake I don't think has any real milk in it, so it's not going to have a lot of protein. And the apple pie is so most of your protein is coming from the two Big Mac patties.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's more of a carb shake. It's like I would like to make a carb shake, please. There you go. I'm on an all carb diet.
See, this way I like, when I figured out I do this with you, and because you get like the more sensible approach to it. Everybody else be like, oh, what the fuck, at least you're
so far I'm not scared of any of these, really.
I didn't say you were going to.
The only one I might not do is eat the raw egg, just because I don't know, maybe I'll scramble it and then add it to it and see what.
Well, you figure it's the same thing. Like when you're working out, there's people that have 4 raw eggs and then it just slides right down. So if you
you mean like Rocky? Like when Rocky?
Yeah, kind of like Rocky and all that. So it's like you do the bourbon, Tabasco sauce, and the egg, and just do it down like you down bourbon if you do. So and Kim Jong nuclear bomb, you just have that when you have a really fucked up day.
Yeah I might have that on my last day of work. I'm going to be retiring this year from my day job.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you. And so I might have that as my final meal. 38 years.
Final meal. I'd like to have my coffin at McDonald's, please.
Yes, that's right. I just murdered 23 people. What do you want? I would like you to make me a Kim Jong-un nuclear bomb. Yeah. Okay, what's in that? You mean you don't know?
You don't know? Here.
Other people don't ask for this? It's it's a carb shake. Come on. Go to McDonald's and ask for carbs. You'll get it. It's there.
It's like, listen, I want you to put the Happy Meal and everything else in the blender, and I'll hand you the vodka, and then there you go.
Voila. It's a combo four with vodka.
And then when I die, just put me in the grinder and then put me in the Happy Meal box, and I'm all happy.
A real big one. A real big Happy Meal box.
So here's the other question that I try to ask. I think I asked 2 of the podcasts. I think I missed one. But here's a question. Who will die first? Betty White? Now, her birthday is going to be in January 15th, I think.
Or the Queen?
No, or Keith Richards. Well, you can say the Queen.
Well, it's a 3-way.
No. It's only the 2. It's only Betty White and Keith Richards. But you could probably figure Keith Richards as a queen. So
I don't know if I've ever seen Keith Richards in drag, but yeah, sure, why not? I could see that.
He's done Pirates of the Caribbean. He had the the suit.
He had a frilly shirt. He did have a frilly shirt.
Yeah, frilly shirt.
True enough.
But
I don't know. You know what? It's a tough one because I mean Keith Richards is technically younger than Betty White.
Yeah, he's like 75, but
he's lived a little hard life. Yeah. But then who knows? Like I don't know what Betty White's done in her life. Maybe she used to be a chain smoking, promiscuous woman. I mean, she was on the Golden Girls and they had a lot of sex, those Golden Girls.
Well, I think Blanche did everybody else. I don't
know. Oh, yeah, of course. But Blanche didn't last as long, so maybe Betty White had the least amount.
We figured, and I figured this, we called that Sophia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I thought she would be like the one to outlast everybody, and I think she might have been the first.
Yeah, she might have been the first. Yeah, I think you may be right.
Yeah, so she was the first, and then there was
B. Arthur. Yeah.
And then Rue McClanahan, and then B. Arthur was after, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So, but Betty White's just like outlasted like even years on end after that. It's just I'm thinking of doing a Betty White episode. On her birthday, doing a Betty White episode. So I might bring some people on and.
See if you can get Paige to come on. Paige is a huge Golden Girls fan.
Yeah, I know. We could. Well, I don't know yet because I have her on October 1st, I think.
Well, you should actually just do the Betty White episode and record it with her and then save it for when Betty White's birthday is.
Yeah, it's true. No, or I'll just ask her to come along anyway, because I figured, she has she can make time in the schedule and all that. We bring whoever I'm going to interview, we'll see who wants to do it. So, I got Paige and then I got Bex Goo, the potato lady.
Yeah, Bex is awesome.
Yeah, she's like she gave me like a review of I'm not gonna say a 5-page thing. I think it's like 5-something review or whatever. And I read it. I was like, wow. It was just like awesome. I was like, I read to my girlfriend. We're walking to the car, and I'm like, this and this, and she goes, wow, she really gave you like a 5-point review, and I'm like, yeah, it was awesome. I'm like, I love it. And now if they can give me that 5,000 followers, and here we go. Sky's the limit. But so what is going on with Film Rage? Anything, or just doing the basic, like you were mentioning before about going somewhere for
places and stuff? Yeah. We so our podcast is basically we wanted to have a podcast. We thought there was a gap in the market for new releases. Like a lot of film podcasts, they're basically reviewing movies that everybody's already seen.
Yeah.
And what we really wanted to have was a podcast that came out when the new releases came out, so that people could make a decision based on whose opinion that you usually follow. And because there's 3 of us, right? You could be like, hey, I'm on Team Murray. I like everything Murray says. I like the movies that Murray likes. And so when Murray gives something a mondo, you're going to be like, oh, I want to go see it because Murray loves it. And then you've got me, and I have a certain taste of movies that I like and certain things that I like. But the idea is to have that review right away so that if people aren't making a decision, they can basically listen to our podcast and then go and see the movie based on it. And they can either agree with us, which we love that people agree with us. But I love it when people disagree with me on stuff. Like, it's just, I love banter. I love, like, some of the best episodes that we've had is when people think that we're fighting, but we love each other so much. Like, we're never afraid. Like, at the end of it, everything that is on the podcast, it's like Vegas, right? Everything that happens on the podcast stays on the podcast. When we walk out of the podcast, we're still best friends, right? So it doesn't change, just because Bryce likes a certain movie and I think it's terrible, or vice versa with Marie. It's like, it doesn't matter. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And, as long as you can back up why you think a certain thing about a movie, right? Like there's a lot of movies that I really don't like because I don't like a certain style of filming, or I don't like, you know, like for me, I'm a really big fan of films that are unique and original. I
Mm.
do not like cookie cutter plots. If I've seen that plot a hundredth time before, I am probably going to hate that movie, even if it's the best version of that movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't like certain genres. I don't like rom-coms because it's the exact same plot written in a different way every single time. So I would not choose to see it. So, you know, if you're a rom-com fan, you're not going to probably listen to our podcast because A, we're going to tear them apart, and B, you know, we're not going to usually see them. So we try and get a good variety. We have because we're all film festival goers. Like, you know, Bryce has been attending our local Calgary Underground Film Fest for the whole time. I think it's now its 19th year, and I've been working for a bunch of different film festivals as a film reviewer for many years. So when they submit the films, they have to have a team to actually go through the movie and make the yay or nay to whether they put it in the festival. So both myself and Murray have been working with different film festivals, and we get called, you know, sometimes more, because now that the podcast has been going for almost 2 years, we'll get contacted by certain festivals and go, hey, would you be on our team? And sometimes we just can't allocate the time because we have too many other things that we're doing. But every week, and it's usually Friday nights, so the days that the films come out, we go in and see the movies, and then our next podcast, which is on the Wednesday, we'll be able to have the reviews done. So if you haven't seen it the first weekend and you want to know, do you want to go see it? That's what people come. So, you know, during COVID, when the theaters were closed, we were doing anything new that came out through streaming. And, you know, on a regular week now, we'll try and fit at least one movie in to streaming. And usually we kind of lean towards Shudder. So if Shudder has, because we're big horror fans. If Shudder has a new release, we'll usually choose it first, as long as it's something that we all agree on. But otherwise, you know, we use Netflix, we use Disney Plus, we all have Apple Plus, you know, all the main streaming services we have. So if it's a big film, we'll watch it. So that's the biggest part of what our podcast is. But then the other part, as I mentioned, we have a session called The List. So it's not just listening to three guys talk about one movie for an hour, which my attention span is like that of a mouse or a cricket. I
like
can't.
That dog from Up. You're like,
squirrel. The squirrel. Yeah, exactly. That's me. I'm the squirrel guy. So, you know, so we like to have a bunch of different segments in the show. So we have our movie review side of it, and then we also have a section where we talk about our lists to try and update it. So we're on this kick right now because we feel that there's too many people on our mesmerizing list. And so if someone's mesmerizing, it's like they take over the screen every time they're on. So, you know, just to give you a quick, I guess, little rundown. So on our mesmerized list, we have people like J.K. Simmons, Mads Mikkelsen, Viola Davis, Jeffrey Rush, Gary Oldman, Daniel Day-Lewis, Kathy Bates, Tilda Swinton, Javier Bardem. So those type of people. So we've kind of felt we're in this kick now where we think we have too many people on the list. Because it can't be mesmerizing every time. I mean, obviously Tilda Swinton's mesmerizing in everything she does. That's a given. But so if you have two people that are mesmerizing and they're both in the same movie, only one of them is going to be the most mesmerizing. So now we're on this kick where we're trying to get some people off of our list. So we're pitting certain people against it. So now we're going back and watching some movies to see who we can kick off the list. So we have that section. And then we also have a section where we talk about what our rage is for the week. It could be anything that we've seen in film. It could be anything that's pissed us off. It's very short. Try to focus on the things usually with cinema. And then the last thing is we get people to dare us to see terrible, terrible movies. So we've got a collection of from our followers on Twitter mostly, where we put it out. It was probably almost a year ago, and I think I probably got maybe 100 films. So we've got a pretty good base of movies, and we call that the dare bag. And then we basically have an option. So every week you can't continually go back to the dare bag because we also have, like, we know each other really well. So I have a bag, it's called Jim's Rage Bag, that Bryce will have to pull movies from. And
Ah.
so because I know what movies he likes, my bag is full of stuff that he hates. So he has to watch that movie and then he has to tell us how he felt. And that is the funnest part of my podcast that I love. We love to make each other sick by watching terrible movies. So
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know what I mean, I seen terrible movies, but that's what they call B movies. That's what's really like funny. And I like those kind of movies, but I mean I watch like like a friend of mine at work was saying, like I was talking about Elvira, and
Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
yeah, she had like a
Hello.
birthday yesterday, happy birthday,
Yeah.
Elvira,
Yeah.
belated birthday. And I'm trying to get her on the show, and
Oh
hopefully her
man.
people will call my people, which is me. And because I had no way out. I mean, I got my girlfriend, but she does like the editing part, and I do like more the promoting and whatnot. But like I said, I'm trying to get like Elvira and all that. But I mentioned this to my friend at work, and I'm like, he goes, "Yeah, she did that movie, Mistress of the Dark." He goes, "It was kind of corny," and I'm like,
Yeah.
what? And I'm like, dude, I'm like, I don't watch it because of the movie. I watch it because of Elvira, So like Haunted Hills, obviously, what the hell I mean Haunted Hills, and but she to this day, she looks like she's still
Yes, man. She
20
looks
something.
awesome. She looks awesome.
Like she hasn't aged at all. I mean, she's aging, but she doesn't look like she's aging at all.
No, I know.
Even her, self as Cassandra Peterson, that's who it is. And if nobody didn't know, because they're like, no, it's Elvira. Well, that's who it is. So she still, like the average person looks, tremendous as well, and but with the makeup and everything else doing the thing, it's great. So love Elvira. I mean, like I said,
she's there's this Shutter. So do you have Shutter, by the way?
I had it, and then I just got like a whole bunch of shit. I'm like, as money wise, that I'm like, if I can get everything rolled into one and one payment, that's good for me.
Yeah. It's as far as streaming services go, it's probably the cheapest one on the market.
Yeah.
Like I think from where we are in Canada, I think it's only $6 a month. But they continually having new stuff. Anyway, she's having a party for her birthday on Shutter.
Yeah,
and she's
I
gonna
heard
be doing like a live stream. So yeah.
I might have to get that now.
Well, you can rent it for 1 month and then
do the 1 month and then that's it. But I mean, I'm not saying I don't like Shutter. It's like because I got what's the other one I got? Yeah, well, you ever seen like Puppet Master and all the other movies and all that? Yep. There's one movie that I'm like maybe like you're just talking about with the bag movie. The certain bag, and there's the evil bong. And it's basically a live bong that's trying to kill people. And that's nice. And everything else. So maybe you can have your friend watch that kind of movie and see what kind of thing. Like, oh my god, why did I have to watch this?
Well, the like to your point about B movies though, if B movies are done right, they're the kind of bad that's funny bad, and it's usually intentional. So you're going there to have fun. They're kind of like drive-in movies, really. Like that's the B movie. Movies kind of thrived in the drive-ins back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, right? People go to the drive-in, they hang out, they laugh together, they make jokes, they eat lots of popcorn.
Yeah.
And that is fun. But there's bad movies that are just really, really, really bad because they're terrible. And there can be ones that are so terrible. Yeah. Well, see, Sharknado is actually one of those ones that's a B movie. People like it because it is so bad. It's fun. It's funny bad. But I mean, like, okay, so let me tell you what Bryce and I are actually going to be reviewing this week. We are going to be watching the movie. Hold on. Valentine's Day from 2010.
Oh yeah, the mining killer.
No, it's not a horror movie. It's a movie about Valentine's Day. with Ashton Kutcher, and like the cast is massive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's going to be completely awful. It's going to be schlock, and I will hate every minute of it.
You'll be, you know.
No, it's going to be a rage. I can tell you that right now.
Like you rage, fuck. Yeah. But we call it. Oh, honestly, the best actress that I love, and I keep on saying this, and even when I was married, my wife's like, "Oh, look, your girlfriend's on." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, your hall pass. Your hall pass.
Yeah, so it's like a Kate Beckinsale.
Oh yeah, she's pretty hot,
and
man.
she doesn't age either.
Nope. I don't know how old she is.
I'm all right. Everybody beat this out. I'm 48, and but I think she is like probably near my age. I think she's either 46, 47.
73. She was born in 73.
Oh, so then she's gonna be 48. Yeah.
She'll be, I guess, 50 in 2 years. Yeah. Same age as
So
you.
Yeah, she's like my age. Yeah.
That's why you're in love with her.
Yeah, I know. But I was like, oh, but then all of a sudden now she's going out with some kid that's like, 18, 19. I'm like, the fuck, really? It's like you said.
When you're as hot as she is, you can get whatever you want. So
yeah, that's true. But
that's right.
Yeah, maybe I want to get her on the show too. I don't know, that's gonna work. But her people is not gonna be able to call me.
Hey, set your goals high, buddy. Never,
I know. No, I do.
That don't say never. That's the defeatist attitude.
Nah, I never defeat. I always try to conquer. Yeah.
You can change anything to a positive by just saying the word yet.
Yet. Or
right?
I
have not won the lottery yet.
Yes. Yeah.
I have not got on a date with Kate Beckinsale yet.
I like that. It's like, I never got that Maserati yet.
Exactly. Yeah. Right? It's coming.
I haven't killed the cast of Sharknado yet.
Or in my case, I haven't got to be in a Sharknado movie with the cast yet.
All right. Now, if you're in a Sharknado movie, would you want to be killed, or would you want to be alive?
The hero? No, I want to be killed in the most violent, most disgusting way. I've got a lot of guts because I'm a little chubby. So, I mean, if they can tear me apart and blood all over, I could not be happier. Like it would be cool. I can visualize it right now. Yeah. So I'm standing there, maybe on a dock, maybe on a building, maybe on a helicopter. And at the same time, where the Sharknado's coming closer and closer, and there's 17 sharks all take a bite of me at the same time. At the same time, perhaps, I'm just guessing, the propeller of the helicopter goes off and also cuts me in half. So I split in half and then chomp, 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 chomp.
So you're the chugs, you're the chomps of
I want to be what do they call that when they throw all the chunky meat into the chum? The chum. I want to be chum. I want to become chum. And then it would be even better if on the credit in the movie it was Jim Evans, chum.
Yeah. he wasn't a podcaster, he was the chum.
I was the chum.
He was. I don't know if I was going to do that. I actually tried to try out for the Purge TV series.
Okay.
And they had a thing on Facebook, and they were like, "Oh, anybody that wants to go with that, send a picture and do your profile and send it." So I just wanted, I did, and I had a longer beard. I had it was all white. I almost looked like the guy from House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh yeah.
But he had more the chops I have now than what I had in the front. My goatee was really long. And so I was and I sent it, but then all of a sudden now I'm I get all this feedback from the people that oh, come to New York City and this and that, and you could pay your way with the thing. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, you're calling me out, you're gonna give me the headshots? And
so they actually said to come?
Yeah, they said, oh, we'll give you an interview and all that and whatnot, see what's available and all that. I'm like, But then I talked to a friend of mine because they did something like that, but then they went to said like say New York or whatever, and they went down there and they wanted him to pay $2,000 to do this and $100 of this, but they're the ones that called him. You know what I mean? So they were like, I don't know, it sounds like a scam. So I believe my friends, you know, because they went through it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, but you know, honestly, it could have been, you know, a good thing, or it could have been, you know, a farce. But then they kept on texting me left and right. You know, it's like, listen, we got an opening over this time. How about this one? Or how about this? We've been trying to reach you for this and this and this. And I'm like, you know, I just want to be like,
it's kind of cool though, right? I
yeah.
mean, if it's
I like
really them and it's not some kind of scam, then that's pretty cool.
But I would like to, like, because I live in Long Island, New York, and I'm like, I don't really like driving out to the city or taking a train to the city because honestly, I'll get lost really fucking easy. Like you were saying, you know, like the whole squirrel thing, you know, I'm like, direction is not my faux pas, you know. So, you know, like even like thanks to GPS, I can get where I need to fucking get to. You know, if I had to use a map, I'd be lost going around in a circle, around in a circle. You know, that's about it.
Well, you know, and the thing too about GPS, I don't think it works really well in tall building areas. Like if you were downtown Manhattan.
Oh yeah, no, that won't.
You'd lose the signal, right? Yeah. And you'd be hooped. I don't even know how anybody talks on phones in New York.
No, I mean they you know, you won't lose the signal, but it'll bounce off the buildings, but you'll still be like, you know, because I think we went to see Beetlejuice, the Broadway show, which is fucking awesome. I tell you right now, we call it.
That's cool.
If you ever seen a Broadway show, or if you want to see a Broadway show, you go see. I don't know if they did Beetlejuice still, but if you want to go and see that awesome show, just don't bring your kids. Let's just say that, because it's like not. Even though Beetlejuice is good for kids when you see the movie or the cartoon, you know, like that, it's not like that when you watch it. You know, it's all vulgar. It's all, you know, like screaming and cursing and, you know, innuendo. President. So, at that time.
Well, I took my oldest daughter, and actually my kids are older because I'm old as fuck. But I took my kids to see Evil Dead the musical, and we loved it. Yeah, we got to sit in the splatter zone. It was awesome.
Oh, they still got it going on or no?
No, this was a traveling roadshow of Evil Dead the musical. It kind of comes through our city, usually once every 3 or 4 years. It'll come through. Yeah, so if you've never seen that one's awesome.
Oh, I know. I mean, I love Evil Dead. I'm actually going to be doing probably next month with Wheel of Horror. And, you know, they got a thing where they got a movie, and then I had to pick a movie that I would like to talk about. But they had, you know, the circle. You know, they had the wheel, and I was like, okay, how about this and this and this? Because every one of them was like my favorite. I didn't know what to pick. I'm like, well, I like this and this and this. And they're like, they got back to me and they said, oh, well, okay, how about this? And I'm like, okay, I got to choose out of 5. I'm like, okay, how about Army of Darkness? And then they're like, all right, you're in for Army of Darkness. So now I got to wait until they say when I got to do the thing. So, and plus I did one with a Cheap Seats review, and those guys are fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, I spent some time with them too. They're good guys.
Yeah, they did a review of Army of the Dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
nice.
I'm like, they told me about it, and I'm like, yeah, can I get on that? You know, because I gotta get some shit off my chest. Because I love Batista, but it's just the way that, you know, the movie.
Yeah, I think we've all agreed it was a meh. Like it was.
Yeah.
I was expecting Dawn of the Dead, right? Mm-hmm. Remake, and we got Army of the Dead. But you know, Army of the Dead is I mean, I think the next one it's really a science fiction. It's not really a zombie movie. They weren't really zombies. There was like they're an alien race. I'm positive of that. Like we're gonna find out more in the universe, but they're aliens, right? It's not like he's a zombie king. he's an actual alien species that invaded the body. So
yeah, because they were saying, oh, it's like a thinking, like, well, how much of a thinking is it? Is it thinking like above dog or thinking?
yeah, well, he's brilliant. The guy, the king, right? Like he was intelligent as humans, right? So
it was good. And then it's just it's like we call it just like the cast was like great. The only thing I just couldn't understand about it is like, okay, the guy is in the vault. He gets pushed in the vault, and then all of a sudden the bomb, goes off that they set off. And then next thing you know, he's getting out of the vault, but then he got bit. I'm like, okay, well, why didn't they show something like how he got bit?
Sometimes it's nice to be surprised.
I mean, it is, I'm like looking, I'm like, okay.
Surprise!
Haha, it's like he dead, but he's going to cause more villainy, but we call it, and then Dave Bautista like dying at the end. I'm like, oh, you're probably thinking, oh, I'm not going to do another one. Fuck that,
Yeah, he's got too many.
Well, I know he's not doing any Marvel ones. I think this is like the.
Oh yeah, there's a rumor that somebody dies in the next one, right?
And I think that
may be him.
Might be him, yeah, because I think he kind of leaned towards it a little bit.
Well, his goal is completed, right? Like his whole character was created to kill Thanos, right? And now that Thanos is dead, his character doesn't need to exist anymore.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, there's like other stuff out there that probably can use. But the way his character is, it's like he's from another planet, but he's not really have like powers. Just a huge.
He's just strong.
He's just strong. That's it. Yeah, it's like. Yeah. But then you got Incredible Hulk, and he's super fucking strong. So it's like. But it's also great when we watching. Have you ever seen the What If?
Yep. Yeah, I just crushed that last weekend.
Oh, okay.
I'm a huge fan of Marvel Zombies. I wish that comic would go on forever.
Yeah, because we just saw the zombie one. We were watching. Well, first we were watching Murder in the Building, and we're like, oh, let's just finish off this, see what's going on with this, and then she goes, oh, what about What If? And she's like, I wasn't sure about this What If Marvel thing, but I'm getting into this now. And I'm like, good, great, she's into it. Nice. She was not really into Fear Street, but for obvious reasons of the first one.
Well, if you're not a horror fan, then we're not going to really.
No, she's definitely not a horror fan. I mean, she watches horror, but I mean, she'll watch it. But her take on it is a reasonable take. So, like, for her to watch, like, she's like, it has to be something that means something. It shouldn't be like a horror movie that you have to get killed all the time. Like Saw. Saw's like, somebody has to be dead in the movie.
Yeah.
They can't be like a hero or this or that, because Saw, you have a hero, but then the hero dies like somewhere in the middle, and then it goes off into somebody else or whatever. So I mean, I understand her recollection of the whole thing, So, but she likes Fear Street because of the whole, it has meaning, and they went backwards.
Yeah.
Try to figure it out. And then I'm like, oh, okay. But the whole bread slicer kind of got her.
Yeah, it was a little, well, you don't like graphic horror, like, everybody's got their thing, right?
Yeah.
So but you mentioned earlier, like you said, you got a bunch of, what is your favorite horror movie?
I got so many horror movies. It's like,
come on, you got to pick one. Let's have one. You just got to one. It could be like, it's got to be one that's the most.
Well, the one that I
most over everything. Your go-to.
Friday the 13th.
The original, number one.
Like,
or number two.
Anything within the Friday the 13th franchise. So it doesn't matter where it's at. I'll watch it.
Okay.
Or it could be Halloween, between those two, like anywhere in the Halloween genre and anywhere in the Friday.
So you're kind of a slasher fan. Slasher's kind of your favorite genre.
But even like Hellraiser is a good, it gives you a multitude of stuff,
Yeah.
And it's because it's great when I can use that kind of like sound clips for like the episodes in the beginning and end. Because I did the same thing for like Wheel of Horror, and I did we call it like the Beyond Thunderdome,
Nice.
the death dealer, he's like, ladies and gentlemen, it's dying time, and then it goes on with Tina Turner going, what is this, so it just goes on. And so now I think I probably tomorrow I'll do it, but I'm be doing setting up for Life Paranormal with V.
Okay, yeah.
She's awesome too.
Her pod is fantastic.
Yeah, it's like, because we had this like, I'm not gonna say we have a connection, but she kind of sees me as like, like I have something that she has something, and she's like, well, you got a gift, and I'm like, okay, I don't really see that, but I mean, hey, there is like stuff that I've seen weird shit as well. I heard weird shit, and there's like, I remember stuff. Maybe it was that time that my mom had a Ouija board and we tried it out. I don't know. Which I did not mention that to her, but she probably knows about it. So, but if you want to go and see Film Rage, go and see Life Paranormal V. I'm not shutting anything off. I'm just plugging some shit. Just plugging some shit, because I don't want them to think that. I gotta write this down too, because I already just got down page and honorable mentions. And then so what goes on next from here for Rage?
For us, well, we're heading into a festival, somewhat festival season, one of our biggest festivals we have. So I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, which is Western Canada. And
is that Jericho country?
I don't know. What's Jericho country?
No, is that Chris Jericho, the wrestler?
Oh, yeah. The Hart brothers are from here. Yeah, the Hart brothers are from Calgary. Yeah. So we have two major film festivals in our city. One is Calgary International Film Festival, which actually is starting next week. Yeah. And the Calgary Underground Film Festival, which is usually in April, and they have a documentary festival in November. So we usually cover those festivals pretty deep. We try to watch as many films at the festival as we can. We usually get pulled on, at least the last couple of years, we're pulled on for media passes. So we'll be reviewing as much as we can there. We probably aren't going to, like last year, we basically did a podcast every day that just broke down all the movies we saw there. But I think this year, we're not going to do as many, just because when you do a podcast, you still got to do a lot of work around it, and we'd much rather be watching the movies. So what we're probably going to do is maybe one or two podcasts, and we're just going to talk about our top 5 and our least 5 favorite films in the festival, so that anybody that, because I don't know if you know much about how the festival season works, but it sort of starts at the beginning of the year, like with sort of South by Southwest and some of the bigger festivals, and then a lot of the films kind of hit the circuit, and then they get shown here or they'll get shown there. And then by the end of the year, or at some point in that festival season, they'll get picked up. So then they actually go into major rotations. So if you remember, like Little Miss Sunshine, right? It kind of hit the festival circuit, and it was the darling of the festival circuit. And people said, this movie's great. And then they put it into major release, and then everybody watched it, and it became a real big hit, right? So, so that's really, we're seeing these movies before anybody else has a chance to see them. And if we have an opportunity to sorry, my nose is itchy. It wasn't because I was doing coke this morning.
And your eyebrows fell down. No, like with the pink, it just, when you went down, the eyebrow went.
So we like to get that out there, that these are our favorites, and we're gonna have an episode. We have a spin-off podcast within our podcast called Verbal Masturbation, where we try to interview directors of films, and so we're gonna have an opportunity to interview a director or two during the festival. So it's gonna be fun.
Cool. Interesting. I like it. I gotta get on your show somewhere. We could go and do even though you might kill me here and there, but I'm used to getting degraded and debackled.
You know what, we I would love to have another podcast that I got to just bring on guests with, but most people can't achieve what we need them to achieve to be on our podcast, because we don't, Like if we have a special edition one, that's different. But on our regular weekly podcast, to be on our podcast, you would have to go and see all the movies that we're going to see.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And most people don't want to commit to 4 or 5 or 6 movies in a week, right? So that's always the toughest thing. It's kind of unfair to have them on because then it changes the direction of what our podcast is, which is really. But we often have special edition ones. Like this year we had I have a Halloween one that we're gonna have Tony from FlixX rated on. And then we'll have a Christmas one. We have 2 Christmas ones. We have a Christmas episode and we have a Krampus episode. So maybe we'll be able to fit you on our Krampus episode this year, because usually our Krampus episode is all horror Christmas movies. So
because I love watching those. I actually got like the unboxing from Loot Crate.
Okay.
So I get like all those like every other month and all that. Now I've been slacking as it is, because now I have like the 2 days, like Saturday and Sunday, and I got like the interviews like almost every Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday I try to do like edit like with a video and post it out there, and I never got a chance to get into it. So I think Monday I'm off anyway, because I'm getting a tattoo done on Sunday night.
Oh, what are you getting?
Well, I'm getting a squid.
Well, so where is it going?
On my back. I got like not enough room on the arms and everywhere else yet, so I'm doing it on the back.
So where's your ink at now? Where's your ink now?
I got it mostly on my hands, my fingers, like on the arms, going all the way up.
Sleeve,
all the way up. Across the chest, like down by where the booby, section.
Down the treasure trail?
Treasure trail? Yeah. It's called like the belt. So, and I got that, and then I got like miscellaneous, like going down the legs. I haven't really connected them yet. So, and then one on my kneecap and one on my thigh. I got like Lego Batman on my thigh.
Nice.
And that is like, I'm not gonna say that's the painful one. The one on my knee was the painful one because it wasn't the same guy. And this guy wanted to get everything done in one day, so he did the outlines, the shading, the color, like all together, and I was like cringing. I was like, oh, but any other time I get tattooed, I'm like, with my guy, I'm like a robot. I'll just sit there, no problem, like I said, for 8 hours getting something done. And everybody's like, what do you mean 8 hours? It's gonna take that long? I'm like, well, given the guy smokes cigarettes, so he has to go for a smoke break, so it's like like 10-15 minutes. And then you go back in, and then you continue on.
How does he keep a business by taking smoke breaks every 15 minutes?
I don't know, but we call it, he gets in the, I used to smoke too, and I understand the situation. And I was like, all right, do what you got to do, and I'll go out there and I'll hang out with him, and we'll go back in there and pretty much like the whole day. And I don't know if you're tattooed or not, but
I got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tattoos. We'll be getting a new tattoo when we're hoping to hit Vegas in November, as long as the COVID's not terrible. So the Film Rage is gonna be in Vegas, hopefully in November. So fingers crossed. We've got our flights booked. We just haven't done anything. So I'm probably gonna get a Film Rage tattoo while I'm down there. So
isn't it crazy though? I mean, I never really talk about COVID that much on with guests and all that, but I mean, it's crazy now that everything subsided, even from like last year, everything was subsided like majorly. And then now we're in the midst of rolling along, getting stuff going on. Like bands are performing now, they're going out there, and you got wrestling, having fans. And now it's like, even taking a plane, you still got to go through the process, even like with the 9/11 situation regulations. Now you got this one somewhat enhancing it as it is, but you're still going through the whole not shoots and ladders, but you're going through the paces, and it's just crazy. Now when we're just talking about stuff, we're gonna go here, but we gotta see how COVID is, or we gotta see how this one. And
well, we can't even, like, Canada's border is open to the US, but the US border isn't open to Canadians. So we can fly in, but we can't drive it across the border. They won't let us in. So, and we in my province, we were one of the first to sort of lift all restrictions. Like we lifted everything. And so that was in the summer. And then we've just been hit with this huge wave. So we're just going back into shutdown. So our podcast is even going to change for next week because we can't be all together. We're not allowed to be together. So I'll be from home doing a Zoom call into the podcast, and Murray and Bryce will be back at the studio because we can only have 2 people together. So who knows? Like I'm not about to get on a plane and go to Vegas if it's like a zombie apocalypse of COVID hanging around in there, right? It's just I don't want to be in it, right? It's plus they shut shit down. Like they won't have shows. Like the shows just won't happen. You can't get Celine Dion and Britney Spears in there.
Yeah, free Britney. And I still don't understand that whole thing with Britney Spears. I don't really follow it, but I like Britney Spears, and like every guy would say, we call it like eye candy, But she still looks great too. We call it, as well. I mean, I don't know what the hell they're eating or drinking that has them being, young and vibrant, for all these years, like Elvira and Kate Beckinsale and who's not and Britney Spears, but then there was a movie. Oh, what the hell? The girl from Friends.
Jennifer Aniston or Courtney
Jennifer
Cox?
Aniston. Yeah. So Jennifer Aniston, we're watching the movie of where she's like a stripper, but then
that's a pretty good flick.
Yeah, we're watching it, like me and my guys, me and my friends at work.
We're the Millers. We're the Millers.
Yeah,
we're the Millers. Yeah.
And then it's like where that one part where the kid is like the son. He's like, oh, I don't know how really to kiss a girl, and then the sister, the pretend sister, oh, you do it like this, and then all of a sudden the mom gets in there, there's Jennifer Aniston, oh no, you gotta do it like this, and I'm like looking at my friends, I'm like, that's the luckiest motherfucker ever. I'm like, shit. She's probably going like, I didn't really get that. Can we do a take 2? How about a take 3 or 4? And then they're probably going, really? I'm like, shit, yeah, I wouldn't go and take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 15.
Let's go 100. Let's go see if we can do 100 takes.
Yeah.
Oh, that might have caused a little awkwardness for that poor young boy. There might have been a little bit of movement in his nether regions, if you know what I'm saying.
The slackers wasn't slacking.
his tighty whitey got a little tighter.
The whitey is getting a little bezier. He's like, oh shit. Okay, can we just put in here for a minute?
Can we please put something else? Can we? He's gonna do a session of RuPaul there and tape his dick up his ass so that he can finish this scene.
The guy will look down, going, makeup. And they're like, we're not touching that. No. So, all right. Well, we have been on for a good, decent, like hour and 15 or something. So,
yeah, man.
Thank you, Jim, for being here. For being on
thanks,
the show. Man. I know I had problems giving you promos, and I don't know what the fuck was that about.
It all worked out, man. We got it. Your promos on our last show. So
yeah, I know. I saw that. I was like, nice, because I was trying to like. I don't know what it is. It's like I have a app where you can do promos, but I tried doing it on the computer. Like you were saying that you guys do like with the Rodecaster and everything else, and
we record into Audacity, which is the recording software for it. The Rodecaster is kind of the mixer that works with Audacity, and then when you have a file that you've recorded, you can just save it as something, right? So you can save it as an MP3 or a WAV file, right? But because our Rodecaster only allows certain formats, it's like we can only use an MP3 or a WAV. Like maybe it's a little bit of Rodecaster's issue. They should be able to play, but for whatever reason, it wouldn't take an MP4A, which is, I guess, another common.
Yeah, because because we did because I was when we're talking about Paige with review. Oh, I'm gonna get this name.
Reverie.
Thank you. Yeah, true crime podcast and all that, and she was saying she uses like Audacity,
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm like, oh, I'll try it out too, because we had like some kind of program that we use. But when we get down to it, like they had the MP3. Well, they didn't have MP3. They had MP4 and MPJ or some shit. And I'm like, I don't know if any of this is gonna work. I'm like, even when I try uploading it for like when she does editing, it's always a pain in the butt. It's like we're trying to upload it and it won't take because it's an MP whatever. So, but when I do an MP3 and she's like, well, what about your Zoom thing? I'm like, no, I just leave it as is, and that's way it's quick, easy. I can upload it, and that's it.
Yeah.
But then I have an app on my phone, Audio Labs.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I use that, when I was doing intros, because I did an intro for numerous amount of people. I did intros for it goes down to PM, Campfire Classics, which they never had an intro before.
Oh wow.
So I was like the first person they ever had that gave them like an intro. And then your new favorite movie, Josh G. I love that guy. He's like, it was like my first person I was talking to. Like, other than Twitter and all that, just like
Yeah.
chat. So that was it. But I mean, now at least I got the promo, to you. It's all good.
Sweet. It is good, man.
Hopefully we call it Shoot the Flake, and they said everything was good. So I'm like, now I gotta wait for Drunk Fury. Those guys are crazy too, man. I'm like,
yeah.
But yeah, so thank you for being on the show on this Saturday. Was it September 18th?
Yes.
And like I said, belated birthday to Elvira. September 17th was yesterday.
Yep.
She's the big 7-0 people. 7-0.
Holy cow, she looks like she's 20. I agree with you, buddy.
Yeah, I know. She's like, I was like, wow. That's what I want to meet. I just want to go down. I know she did stuff like in Jersey and and like not Comic-Con, but I mean like more like HorrorCon and Jersey Boats or whatever that was on there. And we went to what was it? Friends of mine that sell knives, swords, and jewelry. They went down to a thing where they had a horror convention, and then basically it was just like, it was awesome. It was just like, I met this guy named Father Evil, and he's like a priest, but he had like black eyes, and like his fingertips are like black, and it's like, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, is that the guy you're talking about? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, Father, and he's just walking by going, sinner. And I'm like, he knows. I'm like, holy shit.
He sees through me.
I know. Yeah. Like, I'm transparent now. Like, but he's a really cool fucking dude. And again, I would love to have him on there. I'm going to try to see if I can get him on. It'd probably be easier to ask him. But
yeah, maybe that'd be cool. I'm looking forward to hearing that.
Yeah.
Elvira can scare the pants off me any day.
Elvira can take my pants off anytime. That's also, we call it like my hallway pass kind of thing too. Yeah. It's like, who can you say you can't? It's like, Elvira, come on, it's Elvira. Or it's Kate Beckinsale. And I'm like,
that's right. You get it. Your girlfriend can have her own hall pass too, buddy.
Oh, I know.
Maybe it's Arnie or Antonio Banderas or whoever's.
I don't know. There was some people that she's like, and I'm like, and then we're talking about Sean Bean. I'm like, oh, he's gonna die somewhere, Oh well. But anyway, Jim, thank you for being on. I will, go and see and tell everybody where they can find you at. Actually, I completely almost forgot.
Yeah, no worries, buddy. So on all the social media, you can find us at Film Rage YYC. We also have an amazing website that, we have so much content on there, which is filmrageyyc.com. And you can find us on YouTube. We're not doing a lot of videos lately, but our content is still there. And just search Film Rage Podcast. If you search Film Rage Podcast, we come up everywhere. It's kind of, Google must love us. I don't know. It's, if you just search Film Rage, you'll find Nick Cage, which is okay by me. But if you search Film Rage Podcast, they'll find us.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you find Nick Cage, he'll probably be on the second movie of Grandma's Boy.
If we're lucky.
No, that would be funny as hell. You know, that's what I pitched to Josh G. You know, he goes, you ever seen Grandma's Boy?
Yep.
So if anybody hasn't seen Grandma's Boy, basically it's long story short, it's a video game like building, you know, company that has video games. They test them, but they like smoking weed. And they had Doris Roberts on there, and then Shirley Jones,
yep.
you know, from the old like 70s shows and everything else. And basically when I pitched the whole thing to them, we call it the second one, it's like they own the company. The guy that they're fighting with, he is the janitor of the company, and Nick Cage is hanging out and smoking weed. And what would be better than seeing Nicolas Cage smoking weed, and then you go around the table like that 70s show.
70s show, yep.
You know, you go around, but then all of a sudden you get back to Nicolas Cage, and he just turned into Ghost Rider and smoking weed while he's in Ghost Rider mode. You know,
smoking weed.
You know, and it's just funny shit. And then I actually made a picture, like I got the picture of the guys that were from Grandma's Boy, and I kind of like put Nicolas Cage in there, and he's like hanging over what the pudgy guy, what was the guy's name? The actor. Ah, shit, fuck it. Well, anyway, you'll know when you see it in the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty. So everybody have a good night. Well, yeah.
You too.
It will be a good night. Yeah. So you know, daylight saving time is going to be in November, people. So Halloween is going to be in October. We're going to have some fun. And everybody go search Film Rage. Go search Tattoo Squid Podcast. You got any merch you want to put out there too?
Yeah, we have a merch site. If you go to our website, we have a whole merch page, and you can buy us a terrible movie rental and dare us to see it. Like it's only $5 Canadian, which is I think like 50 cents US. I don't know what our dollar is.
I don't even know. I just know if I have money, I'm spending it. Basically. And
yeah,
then,
me too.
But my merch is you know, tattoosquid.threadless.com. So you get everything from mugs, shirts, sweatshirts, skateboard, whatever. And there was something else too. I forgot what. Oh, well, anyway. So you'll find out. Alrighty. Thank you, Jim. I'm going to talk to you in a few minutes after this. Let me shut this, and then we just jibber jab. Okay. Thank you, folks. Have a good night. You know.